Money is the motivation factor for many, but it cannot be the end game. If the intent is just to earn money, this financial advisor will not go very far in his career and business.
But somehow it does feel that advisors feel like they need to show that they are successful in maybe having expensive cars or expensive houses. Do you think that is true?
Putting myself as a consumer perspective, do I care whether you drive a BM or Mercedes? I don't. I really care whether you are actually doing a good job for me.
Hi everyone, I'm Crystal. I'm founder of Grow Public Relations, and today we have with us Irene. Irene is the Deputy CEO of Finexis. So Irene started out as a financial advisor, and she really climbed her way up to become Deputy CEO today. So today I'll be talking to her, wanting to understand a bit more about her journey, the challenges, and what makes her who she is today, and her thoughts on the financial industry. So that's what we'll cover today. Hi Irene.
Hi Krista, thank you for having me.
Irene, I believe it must be quite challenging and quite a transition to become from a financial advisor to a deputy CEO today. So how has that journey been like? How did you even embark on this path?
Right. This is a very long journey. I started off doing sales, doing insurance actually for the first 3 years of my career. So all I know is selling insurance, doing financial planning. I think the key things I learned in the sales journey of 3 to 5 years in the financial advisory business is learning to build network, building relationship, learning that everything revolves around doing the right thing, learning the management way bit by bit, step by step. And because of the mentorship that I received during this 20 plus years is really I would say it's a very steep learning curve for me. Only know about financial advisory to able to manage team, learning what is P&L, learning what is cash flow. So this whole journey of the 25 years is non-stop learning every bit of time. Really try and error. I have a very good mentor, a very good boss who actually allowed me to make a lot of mistakes along the way.
Irene, maybe I'll ask you a question also, which is that, when you were a financial advisor, I remember you shared with me before that you actually felt like there can be more support for advisors because you see how difficult the work is within your 3 years, and that's what motivated you to step into management, right? It was because you were quite daring to go and have a conversation with the management to say, hey, I believe that there can be things that can be done and stuff like that. So what was your thought process when you did that?
My first 3 years of sales, I think is tough. I think advisors have to do many things, at one go. They are technically self-employed. They're entrepreneurial. They have to find their own leads, find their own client, do the financial planning, upgrade. At the same time, do the servicing and making sure that the client is impacted and handheld the client every journey of the time. So as a financial advisor, if you do everything alone, it's very difficult for you to really do well without the support of the team. So the team support, the infrastructure becomes a very important thing that I see that is needed for a financial advisor to do well in the career and for the client. For example, the digital, the tech, the amount of training and upgrades required for a financial advisor to unlearn, to relearn new things. So many new things coming out, the regulation changes to get yourself updated. All this form a very crucial support that is required for the financial advisor to do well in the career.
What are the 3 biggest challenges that somebody who is new as a financial advisor will kind of have to overcome?
I think the first most important thing to overcome is themselves because it's always self-limiting, especially in a sales career when you're talking about approaching people to sell things, technically speaking. So there's a lot of negative connotation with this career. So this overcoming the self-limiting thought is the number one most important thing for a financial advisor. The second one I would think is persistence. In this career, you were bound to be rejected. Rejection is part of the daily way of business, actually. 10 rejection, probably you give you a 1 client, but that's fine because if you truly believe that the work of the financial advisor is to do good, right? In this career is very interesting. We're talking about financial planning, helping clients to plan $1 for tomorrow, to save the $1 for tomorrow rather than getting them to spend the $1 that they have never earned. If you have a very strong conviction on this, that should pull you through in the journey. When you face rejection, the third one is upgrading. I think when in this career, it's not about selling, right? It's about equipping yourself with the right knowledge, the information, so that you can actually provide good guidance to your client. So continued upgrading and learning is also a very important thing to do. But many stop learning after, they start working in the society.
Maybe we can talk about the stigma in the financial
Sure.
advisory industry. I think we all know that there's two things. When you started out as a financial advisor, it was a very new career many, many years ago, right? And you kind of left a stable paying job to become a financial advisor. Your mom was quite against it.
Yes.
Maybe you can share what made you decide to choose this as a career and the kind of conversation you had with your mom at the start.
It's a very interesting journey. Yeah, 25 years ago, there's not so much of financial planning. It's about insurance. I joined an insurance company in Singapore. So when I decided to resign from my first job, right, as a management associate, when I went home to tell my mom, I'm freaked out. I was like, what are you doing? Crazy or what? Leaving a fixed stable job to going to a fully entrepreneur and a sales career. And to her, selling insurance is like, you don't need a degree. You're just wasting your time, right? I think the reason why I take that step is because in the conversation I had with my mentor then that about this particular career, I found a lot of meaning in the work that the financial advisor or the insurance person is doing. I could see the benefit of the product that we will be promoting to the client. It's not just about selling insurance or getting the person to buy an endowment plan. It's full end-to-end planning for a person about the journey. Reflecting from my situation, I didn't grow up rich, from a poor family. The reason I could have my education has to do with my mom able to save. But that's not enough. I see my friends around me that we have parents who actually invested much earlier with insurance policy, on endowment policy. They really put the children into education. For me, I have to save and work at the same time to get my degree. So it's not an easy journey. Same thing when we see all the insurance plan, that my grandparents are not covered. When they get a medical condition, like my grandma has a diabetic condition who need kidney dialysis, and all this costs a lot of money for the family, and it's a very draining journey. So when I engage a conversation with my mentor then about this career, one thing is I'm open to not so concerned about social stigma at that point of time. It's not the immediate thought I have. This is a meaningful career, that's number one. Two, I could see the financial potential of this career. That my value is not kept by the definition of how a fresh grad should be paid. All right, you design your own value and definition. He was telling me a story about a Coke. The price of a Coke in a 7-Eleven costs probably $1, but the same Coke in a 5-star hotel in probably Marriott's will probably cost you $10. It's the same Coke, but it's this Coke as a different location, different value that define the value. That could be the Coke, but I need to choose which environment I will be, that I'll be appreciated the most to have the maximum value. I was 24 then. If I don't make it, the change now, when? Why not take the risk? If I don't make it after I resigned, I can always go back for a corporate job after a year. All I need to know is a year of my time to invest in this career, to really test it out, to let me know whether it's possible. If it's not, it's just a gap year, right? Gap year that I can take the break to learn something out for myself.
And I'm sure at the start it was difficult, right? Like it probably took you some time to start seeing a stable income. How long did it take for you to finally be comfortable or stable or even earning what you used to be earning at your previous job?
I think it take a good 6 months before I can have money to pay for my own expense. Because when I left my last job, right, I have probably only $3,000 in the bank now. Not much money. So I remember there's a point of time that, last time we had this MRT card thing, you can store your value. And the value of the last 10 cents, I can take the last ride home. That's how much money I have left, at 10 cents to take home. Good thing is I managed to break even my pay or more after about 9 months to a year. So the change come from because after about 2 years in the business, my brother just graduated from school, and my mom was encouraging my brother to join me. Imagine the conversation I had with my mom, like
she changed her.
Yeah, she changed totally.
And I think if you fast forward today, right, the stigma is a bit different, right? It's more like, I think people have this perception that financial advisors are in it to earn your money. If a friend from very long ago come to you and ask you, hey, can we meet up for coffee? You need to check first if they are financial advisor, because they are like going to sell you a policy, right? Do you see that in the industry, especially with like the recruits that come in to Finexis? And what is your thoughts on that?
Okay, money is the motivation factor for many, but it cannot be the end game. All right. Like I shared before, this career is a very meaningful career if you set up right. The most important thing is that the intent when an advisor meets on a client, what is the intent? If the intent is just to earn money, this financial advisor will not go very far in his career on the business.
I don't really know that you are like trying to do good, trying to share what you think is helpful. But at the end of the day, it's up to them.
It's up to them. So because if you try to be pushy and try to close a case, I can guarantee you will not have more clients and referral. All right. So in this business, it's about trust business. So the best way of my view, the best way of growing the financial advisory business is through referral, through the trust that you build your client, and the client refers someone to you. Right. So this business is built upon trust. And that's the most important thing that a financial advisor must understand and know.
Do you have any stories of financial advisors that you think are quite crazy good, like commendable, like you don't hear of people who are living this way or doing things this way?
Actually, there are many stories within the firm that I heard. I have one advisor, which is one of my top advisors. His name is Francis Bay. He's really one of the most hardworking financial advisors I've seen, who has the most dedicated commitment to the client. He, if I recall correctly, he joined us for almost 20 years in the business.
Almost as long as you.
Almost really. 20 years in the business, really. He's the first one to come to office, last one to leave the office too, working very, very hard, even over the weekends, and all revolving around making sure that the clients are adequately serviced, and cover all angles. I see him helping clients in terms they are claim, going the extra mile, calling the insurer, talking to the underwriter if there's case issues, to try to help the client, make sure their claims are successful, delivering a check, making sure that family are taken care of.
So what are some things that he does that other advisors don't do that you see?
I see one thing very strong in him is upgrading. I see him attending many, many courses in the course of a year, taking his EMBA, going for different kind of learning courses, financial and non-financial as well. I think when talking to him is very insightful, because he was sharing with me about the learning. It's not just hard learning about the financial numbers. He go into things like calligraphy, learning, painting at the same time. All this to train self. When you can be a good self yourself, then therefore you can actually influence and empower people.
What has been the most challenging part about your journey in your past many years at Finexis?
The most challenging part is learning to run a team. Because as a financial advisor, you are very much solo, doing your own thing, doing your own planning. You're not accountable to anyone except for yourself and your client. But when you start to run a company, I realized that it's about teamwork. It's not about you doing everything, but finding the right people to partner, nurturing the person to be able to do the job, and at the same time growing the team. So I think this is the most difficult part that I'm still learning at this point of time. But every stage as the company grow, the manpower increased. You have more people. More people means more complexity. And of course, more responsibility as the leader of the firm, making sure that everyone grow at the same time, the company grow.
You didn't have like a title as a CEO before, right? How did you try to prepare yourself, or how do you try to make sure you are ready for this role?
Actually, I'm never ready. I mean, till now, I would say that I'm ready for the role. I'm given this opportunity because I have a team. I have a boss who are very empowering. In the past 25 years, it's really try and error, do things wrong. Okay, let's try again and do it better.
Previously, you also shared with me how you feel like one of the things that one of your character traits is being very empathetic, right? You try to see the good in a person before you see the bad, and then you try to empathize with them. And because of that, that has been a bit challenging for you as a leader.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you can share some like examples or scenarios where being empathetic has been a bit difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The key things I always face is being too nice, too empathetic, too understanding, you know. So when people tell me with the issues, I can understand. And when I can understand, I lower the bar. Whenever I lower the bar, actually the firm is suffer because I did not hold expectation well, I did not hold the standard high. Now I have to learn the whole firm, but the expectation stays. As much as I can understand, be empathetic to your situation. What help do you need to make sure that this still can be delivered? I think it's something that I learned over the time.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they start out as a financial advisor?
The right thing is focus on the client, not focus on the sale. When you focus on the sale, you get no client. All right, that's one. Two, having the time of the world that you can decide what time to wake up, what time to do work, doesn't mean you can actually abuse it. Because time management become a very key thing, because if you do not know how to manage your time, while you're working for someone, you put in 8 hours, solid hours of work. But as a financial advisor, suddenly because you don't have to report to a boss, you don't have to come to office in the morning, you start to take the time for granted. And that is the second mistake I see for many young financial advisors trying a career. The third one is this: when you advise people on financial planning, do you leave the talk? Yeah, driving big cars, big house, if you can afford, sure, but never overspend, because you the way you live your life very much also should be consistent in how you advise. Yeah, that should be consistent. So if you believe truly in financial planning, you need to walk the talk.
But somehow it does feel that like advisors feel like they need to show that they are successful in like maybe having expensive cars or expensive houses. Do you think that is true?
This is very interesting, because if I putting myself as a consumer perspective, do I care whether you drive a BM or Mercedes? I don't. I really care whether you are actually doing a good job for me. So I think if, of course, any profession who are successful, whether a financial advisor, doctor, lawyer, when you earn that money, you can obviously buy your car and buy your house. It should not be anything linked to you as the value of a person and the work you do. Yeah.
But what about like for financial advisors who feel like they have to have expensive houses and cars so that they can attract people to join their team? Like recruits, they want to show that, you know,
they're successful.
Yeah.
Sure, I mean, it's like people want to join successful people, right? The way it can be shown is through the car, the houses, and whatever yacht and party that they could have. But that's only one way. That's only one way. Similarly, if anyone should join a team or choose a company, of course, looking beyond the material is also very important, because you want to join a leader who can really guide you, handhold you, give you the opportunity for you to upgrade and grow that journey. Not just, I have a car, so what? I mean, if you're not helping me in growing my career, helping me in learning every bit of the journey, that equals to nothing. So go look beyond. My advice is really look beyond just the car, the house, but the company, the system, the leader, the heart of the person, the heart of the leader, whether he is or she is really there to want to help you grow in your business, in your career.
Because like you mentioned also, right, people who are in the industry for money, they don't last long.
They don't. Generally, they don't.
Finexis as a company, right? Like it has grown a lot over the years.
Right.
But then there are also many giants in the financial advisory business that Finexis has to compete with in terms of getting recruitment and all that. How do you how do you navigate that competition?
I think competition is there. It's always in the market, right? So I think instead of focusing on the competition out there, I think so for so many years, I think the management team have been focusing mainly on building the value internally. Right? If we build ourselves well, build the structure, the support for a financial advisor, naturally we'll attract. The focus for the team is always talking about how can I impact life beyond finance. That's one, which is our key vision and tagline of the company. The second is how can we grow my advisor? And how can I make things more efficient and effective for them? Because in business, it's talking about cost, time. If you can make, if the company invests in let's say digital transformation, in tools, in basically training to help them grow, I think this is most valuable for them. So instead of focusing on all the things that are out there, the noises in the market, we just realign and focus ourselves into building capability to support the financial advisor for the company.
So it feels like the company's focus is very much on making sure the advisors do well.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
And giving them the kind of support system and structure to help them to do well.
Yes. I think that will be the key focus. Only when you train our advisor well that they can actually go out and impact more people the right way.
Maybe we move a bit more towards your family life now, right? And you talk a lot about like being a mom as well, right? And maybe you want to share a bit about how you became a single mom.
All right. I got married, I think young. I got married at 26 actually. So for 10 years I have no kids, never imagined that I would I tried, but no, it came 10 years later. So at 36 I have my girl. My girl was 1.5 years old, my husband was diagnosed with cancer. It's a stage 4 colon cancer. So within 1 year of fight, he passed on. So that was like, my girl is 14 now, so it's most close to 12, 13 years ago.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and did this incident kind of make you even more certain that you are in a career that is right for you?
Actually, yeah, I reinforced a lot. Like when my husband got cancer, we sat down to talk about the financial. Then I realized that, oh no, he doesn't has his shield plan covered because his financial, is managed by his financial advisor. I didn't ask more because he's a friend. So then I realized, oh God, it's not covered. The medical bill is immense during that 1 year. Every month I need to spend about 30,000 a month cash to just pay off because we don't have insurance cover for him. The irony is I'm in this industry, but my husband is not covered. Can you imagine? Because I never had this conversation with him. I leave it in a good hands that he said he has covered. He has a financial advisor. I leave it. Yeah, it's very, very tough for that 1 year of journey.
From then, how do you actually make changes to your own plans and your daughter's plans after the incident?
We have to sit down to look at the in totality. But the good thing is he bought a term plan. The term plan pay out the critical illness cover that help us to cover some of the expenses. And this really triggered the importance of planning. The importance of a very good financial advisor to sit down to plan all in all. And this is like, I need to get myself covered too, because at that point in time, I'm the single mom, the only supporting person for my daughter. So there's a lot of wake up call at that point in time. At the same time, besides just insurance, also making sure that I'm healthy. Worried about a lot of things. I went for medical checkup. I was scared because I have a high cancer marker on the pancreas. I got a shock. I went for all the check. Thank God, nothing. So it really just realized, medical checkup is also very important that I need to do. I hate it. I don't like it. I procrastinate every time, but it's a very important thing to make sure that you are doing the preventive rather than the reactive.
People always think that, okay, I already have insurance policy, right? Then what is your advice for people in that sense?
Okay, the question is, what do you have? Is it sufficient? And then you should actually sit down with someone you trust to run through your priorities, look through all your plans to make sure that you're adequately covered. Many of people, when you ask whether you have an insurance plan, they say yes. By the end of the day, they may just buy an endowment policy, not really enough to equip to cover you. Yeah, so just get good advice from people you trust to make sure that you're fully covered. I think for the journey I have is really is a painful one. It's a financial draining for the family. The good thing is we have some insurance cover for the critical illness, and that the lump sum payout help to pay off all the medical bill.
But there was still the 20-30K that you had to fork out monthly for a year.
Yeah, that's almost a year. So it's just wiped out all my savings, actually all my savings. So I have to restart back.
Now that your daughter is 14 years old, right? Like, how has this whole journey been, right? And does she know that, hey, my mommy is actually in quite an important position at work, Does she know that?
No, she doesn't know.
Okay.
All she knows is to play game.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's my girl is 14. So when my husband passed away, right, we actually moved back to stay with my parents. So my brother and me decided, let's sell our place, combine our resources and stay as a family. So it's a blessing. Actually, the blessing came whereby I'm now staying with both my parents, my brother's family, and my girl. So she's not alone. I think she has a lot of love with the family in the growing up journey. So that's important because of my work. I'm very busy. So I'm mostly not at home. So my parents help. My sister-in-law help. My brother is there too. So that entire family support help to carry me through lah, and help to support my girl. Yeah.
What is the most important, or like maybe what are some lessons or things that you want her to learn and know as she grows up?
Never let people put a price tag and value on you. Don't fear. There's nothing to fear. The most is just fall and fear. That's all. That's all. And you have family there to support you. What's worst? So I just want her to have the courage to try, to have the curiosity to learn, to find out things. I think that is very important.
What are some of the biggest things that you learned from your mentor?
If I put relevance to the current role I'm playing right now, is selecting the right people. Because if you select the right people in your team, a lot of work get done. Don't select, really not focusing on the work. Don't focus on the task. The key I learned from him is focus on the people. Focus on the people development, and the people will get the things done for you.
What is your plan for yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
5-10 years?
Yeah.
I think must plan for retirement. Yep. Because this year I'm 50, so in about 10 more years I'm in the retirement age. I think same advice for people who are planning for retirement. Start early to plan. I think in the next 10 years for me, the key is making sure that the second generation or third generation leadership can take over to run a firm. The things I also would like to take up now is my girl growing up now at 14. I have a little bit more time for myself. Perhaps picking a hobby is good to start. As a woman, it's tough, Going as a daughter, you usually the daughters are the one in the family. Usually, I would say a disclaimer that actually will be there for the family to do all the errands, caregivers.
Yeah.
If anything happen, and then wife, right? To be a wife, to be the mother, I think it's very tough, right? So, going through that journey, I hope to be able to help more women in general. Whether it's in volunteering, helping them in whether it's career or I don't know, anything I can volunteer to help. In this area, it seems to have touched my heart that to do more. It's something that I hope that I can actually devote more time, perhaps when I retire.
Thank you for watching this video. I'm Crystal from Grow Public Relations.
Hi, I'm Irene from Finexis Advisory.
If you like content like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you next time.